Trying to steal your sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. In my opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
Hey, everybody, we are live with Season 5, Episode 23. 23. The Michael Jordan of episodes, you might even say.
Ooh.
The Don Mattingly of episodes, you might say. Did anybody else wear 23? I can't think of anybody else that wore 23. Who knows? But either way, it's going to be a great one, guys. It is St. Patrick's Day. Technically, tomorrow's St. Patty's Day, but we are celebrating it tonight into tomorrow. And to do that, I need some help. I could celebrate alone, but I choose not to. I am here joined, as always, by Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Hey, man, I just did a quick search.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan,
LeBron
yeah. James.
LeBron did wear
Frank
it.
Gore.
Okay.
Anthony Davis.
Is Don Mattingly
Jimmy
not on
Butler.
this list?
Don Mattingly.
Okay, he is. I was going to be
Devin
very upset
Hester.
with myself. Ooh, Devin Hester.
Ryan Sandberg.
What sport does Devin Hester? Soccer.
Nope.
Devin Hester?
Nope.
Football.
Yep.
Football, okay.
Marshawn
Sure.
Lynch.
I should have
Blake
just said
Griffin.
football and covered both of them. Blake Griffin was 20. I thought they just would have retired
David
23
Justice.
across the board. Justice was, yeah, I remember that. But across the board in basketball, I figured that would be one that you just retire, but I guess a lot of people still want to wear it. People still want to wear it. And speaking of things that you still want to wear, we're joined by the most comfortable sweater of a human being I've ever known, Mr. Zachary Storman. That was very eloquent. The way you held it and opened it was, I wouldn't say dainty because it wasn't dainty at all, but it was kind of dainty and eloquent. More eloquent than dainty.
Daint on my taint.
You got a dainty tainty.
Dainty. Tasty ain't.
Oh. Well, guys, to celebrate with the season, St. Patty's Day, we have a band that is actually from Ireland. They're from North Ireland, and they are called No Matter. They are a really fun new wave of pop punk that is happening, especially in the UK, Europe, Australia, that we've been a big fan of. I fucking love the resurgence.
I mean, Cosmic Psychos just put out that other song.
That's such a good song. They have a little reference to the chats in there.
Yeah.
They have the smoko on the thing, and then the guy looks like whatever the fucking guy's name. It's a pretty good fucking video. But we're gonna be bringing you some music from Ireland. 2 new songs, one a little bit older than the other. It's actually footage from a live show they did way back in like 2018, I think. But one of the last shows like one of the big last big shows they were able to do before the whole world shut down, 2018, 2019.
Manchester Punk Festival.
Yeah, Manchester Punk Fest. These guys have been all over Europe. I'm going to be telling you a lot about them. We're going to be hearing 2 of their singles tonight. But we have a bunch of shit that we're going to be drinking, and it's going to be, usually we do What Are We Drinking, and it's just kind of like a segment, and we kind of back off. But we're going Patty's themed today, all right? We're going Patty's themed. So we are going with one American drinking beer and a couple other beverages, and we're going to kind of spread it out throughout the day. But before we get to what we are drinking tonight, I have something I wanted to inquire with you guys.
No, I didn't watch the Grammys. Who cares?
No, I didn't watch the Grammys either, actually. I didn't even realize they were happening, but that's
Yeah,
a
I didn't
shock
know
for
that.
me. But the Grammys I usually don't watch. I did hear that Bill Burr pissed more people off, which I'm just, keep going.
You
Keep
know
going.
who won Best Metal Performance?
No.
Body Count.
I don't even know Body Count.
Ice-T's band?
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally accurate. They haven't lost any credibility ever with that nomination alone. Jesus, I haven't listened to it. Have you listened to it at all?
I think I heard it when the song came out, but I don't recall it whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sure all the metalheads are really stoked about that. I'm sure they're really, really pumped on that. No, I was
Blue
going to bring
Ivy
up...
won. She's 8.
Wait, like Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter?
Yeah.
Won a Grammy. For what?
I don't know, some spoken word shit.
Oh, she probably read a book or
Yeah,
something
she probably
like that.
read like, if we could make the world better because of COVID.
Yeah.
Not to downplay whatever she did.
I'm sure it was good. I'm sure it was meaningful. But not any other 8-year-olds getting that award,
And
I'll tell you
also,
that.
Billie Eilish won more awards.
Okay, good for Billie Eilish. Eilish. I can never say her name without saying Irish. It's just...
Billie Irish.
It's Billie Irish. I just think it's what her name should be. But no, what I was going to bring up to you is a couple weeks ago we talked about it last week.
We got Michael Demmer chiming in saying,
Yo.
dude, Body Count is the shit.
All right, we got one guy on the side of it. I'm gonna have to listen and determine for myself. I'm assuming I'm not gonna like it unless it's just him. It's Ice-T you said, or Ice Cube?
Ice-T.
Ice-T.
You never heard their original song?
I don't
When
think
they
so.
first got big in the 90s, they had a song called The Cop Killer.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, it's the same group. It's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, I never realized that was considered a metal performance.
They're a metal band.
Yeah.
So is Scott Ian in that? Is he in that thing or no?
No.
No,
it's like an
Ice-T,
actual-
Ernie C., Tracy, Morrow Jr., and Juan Garcia.
Yeah, it's
Okay. All right.
They've been a band.
I need
for
to
a
be
long
educated
time.
on this.
But Mikey did bring out the fact that a lot of big names do have a lot of their hands within.
Oh yeah!
Within the
God,
band.
he's got that SVU money for the last 23 years. That's where all that production quality and the promotions, I'm sure, came from.
For sure.
But no, what I was going to ask you about is we all got tattooed, or the two of us got tattooed, and Justin was there helping us film. But you both have been tattooed in the past.
Yes.
I'm curious, how much does the hair growing back bother you guys?
It never bothered
Never
me.
bothered you? Because
No.
right here,
So itchy when
it's
the hair
getting
goes back.
itchy,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I
the
woke up in the
itchiness
middle of
of-
the night, like rubbing my arms together, like without knowing, and then I was like, I gotta go put more ointment on. And I've been using the Aquaphor. I went and got what he said was like the higher end one, the better one. And it's been doing really well. He saw it yesterday. I bumped it actually on Sunday. So Dom saw it and was like, it's healing nicely and everything. But the hair started to grow back, and it's all right here where like the
healing-
heavy coloring is.
The itching, I just associate that with just your body healing. You know, like when you get a
Yeah.
cut, it fucking itches when it
Yeah,
gets to a
but
certain
it's been
point.
a long time since I shaved my arms, so I wasn't
well,
really
that too.
sure if this is just as itchy as my arms would be if I shaved my arms, or if this is
Maybe.
extra itchy. And that makes me really feel bad for people that get like a tattoo on like the beard part of the face.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a pain in the... You have to commit to not shaving. Like, what if you went in and got a tattoo and you had a full beard and you're like, I just want it right here, and they just shaved this one section and you gotta let it fully grow back in. You gotta wait. How long do you wait till you shave over a tattoo? Like that seems
I don't know.
like months. You wouldn't be able to do that for months. This is hurting, and not hurting, but it's itching. And the irritation of the itch, I'll say, so far, minus him cleaning it off with the bleach or whatever the fuck he poured on my arm and wiped it off at the end of it, this is the most annoying part of the tattoo.
Sure.
But
I'm
I still...
super scabby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
And I don't use that much lotion ever.
I've been very anal about making sure that this is nice and lubed up. Very anal about the lube. Always very,
I don't even
very
use the
anal
ointment.
about the lube. What do you just use straight lotion on it
If I feel like
if you need it.
Sometimes I just don't.
Did you take better care of your tattoos when you first started getting tattoos, do you think? Like, were you kind of... Because I feel like I'm new to it.
I was just too... I think it's not... Don't do anything bad, but like it's not as important as it seems.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is to not use something that is oil based. Like you put something that's oil based, you just trap in.
Putting nothing is better than putting the wrong thing.
Well, that's what I was looking it up and I was like, what is going to be the best? Because he had said Aquaphor and then a couple other ones. And I went with Aquaphor, but I was like, can I just use Vaseline? And I look and it's like, do not use just straight Vaseline because it just coats it.
I think, was it Mark? Mark was telling me that he just stopped using lotion altogether.
And just lets him heal?
And lets him heal dry, and then he's big into sunblock.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing I'm going to have to make sure.
If I lotion up
when I'm on the golf course, this is going to be squared up right there, ready to be beamed down with all the sun. So I'm going to have to lotion.
It's weird when that part of your skin is warmer than...
That is the other thing. The temperature. How long does that take? Because they say the whole process takes upwards of a month for it to heal.
I'm just saying, when you're in the sun and whatnot, you're going to notice
this area itself.
Warmer.
I would say it still like radiates heat right now. Like if I put my sleeve down, that spot on my arm does get warmer. And I don't know if that's just a psychosis thing I got going on. Because I think I have a handful of them. But we up here have a handful of psychosis problems. But yeah, it's been weird and it's been annoying and it's been irritating. But it still hasn't stopped me from immediately wanting to go get number 2. Which I think I've dedicated.
Turd?
I'm going to get number 2. I'm actually going to get a number 5 for my number 2. A Roman numeral V on the back of my arm as a reference
for your boss.
For my boss, yeah, for Veronica. But no, it's going to be a big... bar across it, style, not just the V. I'm gonna go very solid. Formal, solid looking, and kind of Ninja Turtles font in the idea of like the curvature of it, but not
Ninja Turtles 5. I want more ooze.
More ooze, ooze in your eye. That's what that one is. Gets ooze cocky is happening.
Ooze cocky.
April O'Neil. April will kneel. That's what it will. That's the tagline for it. For the Ninja Turtles Bukkake fan fiction that we're going to be filming soon. Another thing that happened this week, I got a free organ, strictly to piss off my roommate, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm probably moving. It works. Now, this is what I will say. It works. Certain things you can tell it's just wires are frayed a little bit like that. It's not haunted. It's not haunted.
You shall be in the club soon.
But I'll say that what I'm enjoying about it is if I were to like play something and record it, it has certain wiring must be loose on certain keys and like certain connections must not be great because it's a 50-year-old fucking organ. So I just put on like the flute setting. I was just going like do 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 do. And I would hold a note. I'd be like, do, 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 do. And I'm like, oh, do, 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 do. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So now I'm just going to start writing stuff to the imperfections. Yeah. Because it's like, do, 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 do. At a spot I would never do anything remotely as creative as that. I'm just going to let this kind of force let fate force it, if you will. Yeah. But it's really just a big piece of junk, and I'm really happy. I was going to get a piano as well. But fuck moving a piano, as Zach definitely knows as well. Justin, I'm sure you've had fair share of dealing with moving a piano in your life at some point. I moved a baby grand piano.
I mean, the piano is a different story, but even just moving that organ that's upstairs.
Yeah.
That's why it's broken.
It just
needs
sits there.
To go, but
I was talking to my brother-in-law.
I'm just gonna end up cutting it all up.
Yeah.
Moving it.
My brother-in-law runs a property in East Stroudsburg, and he had these 2 items left behind by a tenant. And he first messages me about the piano, and he goes, "Hey, is there anybody that would want a piano? Do you know like any best way of getting rid of this?" And I was like, "Yeah, go on Facebook Marketplace and write free must pick up because it's the only way you're gonna get rid of it." But I did say I was like, I had the thought it'd be really cool to get that, put it in like a controlled area where we could light it on fire and just film the thing burning and then be able to go back in and green screen like Zach like basically playing on this piano so you get kind of the dimensions right and then green screen him into it And my brother-in-law Randy immediately goes, yeah, apparently lighting pianos on fire is a big thing. People love doing it.
Yeah.
And then people don't snap all of the cords, the wires in it. So they're just standing next to it. The whole thing just explodes and wires go everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been smacked hard by a guitar string, like where you're just like, and it goes pop, and your arm's just right
and
over
the
it.
big piano ones are
Oh,
monsters.
dude, it is. Those are like Dexter level. I'm gonna strangle you
Yep.
to death, like fucking cables. So I wanna burn a piano really badly. I think it'd be a really fun thing to do. But
there's a huge piece of metal. In a
Oh, that
piano.
won't burn.
That's why
Yeah.
the piano's so heavy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a giant chunk of metal. In
oh
it.
yeah, good old
And then you're gonna burn
Pennsylvania
it,
steel.
and then it's just gonna be
giant
in my
piece of metal.
yard.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say necessarily in your yard. I said in a controlled area that most likely would actually be your yard. But
I wouldn't let you burn a piano anywhere else.
well, I'm trying to think that if you could find like Panna Hills, if they were allow you on property and go on like their, because it always burns down anyway.
Yeah.
But if you were allowed to go on their property and put it on like one of the tennis courts, so it's just like, all right, it is like non-flammable surrounding as much as possible. And we're gonna get all like the wires and everything, cut all the cords, get everything that's gonna explode as much as possible out of there, and then just set it there and film us burning it. How long do you think it takes a piano to burn all the way down?
Quite a while.
Quite a
That's how
while.
much gasoline we fill it with.
It's true as well.
Are we filling it with just jugs of gasoline? So then the
That
plastic
should've
and
fucking-
No, I
the.
don't want to get the jugs are worth money. You
Okay.
don't burn the jug.
I'm saying, would it be a better explosion if it was
Yes.
inside
no, it
something?
would be worse.
Worse.
Burning plastic is never.
I've
good.
burnt a tart before. I know how fun
It's
it
the
is.
worst.
It's great. We didn't do that
Plastic.
here, did
Don't-
we?
No, we did it
No.
at Richards.
Richards, yeah, we did it.
I
Yeah.
really try hard not to burn plastic.
Yeah, it's not a good smell, and
It's not good for
it
the
smokes.
planet.
It's not good for
anybody.
Although
your
the
neighbors
craziest
don't like
fire
it.
that we had here was when we burnt all those clothes.
Yeah, but the big part of that was the
You weren't doing a lot of
lacquer.
windbreakers.
We burned some sort of
That's true.
coffee table.
Yeah, something.
So, is that there's a car going
think
by?
that's
I
just a
thought.
car going
Oh my
by.
god! I'm sitting here going like, this is everything's vibrating like just somebody in a souped up vehicle. I do have a new album that I'm really
Mikey
stoked
Demmer
to
says
check out.
hours it would take. He says he burnt an old organ just outside Strasbourg a couple years ago.
Hell yeah! Does he have footage of it? That's what we really
He got
need.
footage?
We need that footage because then we can just skip over my whole idea if you got footage. A new album that's coming out. It's actually an EP. Ringo Starr is releasing an EP called Zoom In. And it's very Ringo. It's super peace and love. You know, he's all peace and love all the time. He's like one guy that's always just kind of stuck with peace and love and seems to mean it. But he it's super happy. It's just like the guy, like, and he keeps coming up in conversations that I'm having at like work and just like random shit. And Zach is a Ringo guy. We've established that Zach is a Ringo guy.
I like Ringo.
He is your favorite. He is one of two surviving members, obviously. Justin, have we established who your favorite Beatle was? Are you siding with any one, or are you just?
I don't know. I think for a little while I was on the side with you or George.
Yeah.
It's either George or Ringo.
George or Ringo?
Yeah, for sure.
I can appreciate you being on that fence.
Yeah.
I'm on the George to Paul fence, but slowly moving closer to Ringo.
Given the fact that you said that the album is very happy, do you think that equates for the Beatles' happiness through songs, where his parts
This
would
is
actually
all
have
very like literally. It's a very themed EP. It's all basically about the last year of everybody's life, and it's literally called Zoom In because he had to zoom in with everybody to practice
Gotcha.
and stuff like that. So I know Dave Grohl works on the EP in some form. Basically, anybody that was ever part of the All Stars that's still alive. And Paul McCartney is also performing on it. So I went to Ringo's YouTube page. I went to his YouTube page.
UT page?
YouTube page. And I was curious to hear at least one of the singles. So he had one of them posted on there. And then I looked, and how many people do you think are subscribed to the official Ringo Starr YouTube page?
700,000.
700. Justin, what do you think?
14 million.
14 million. Yeah. He has 163,000 subscribers.
Oddly low.
Very low. And then I looked at it. If you had to guess, what would be the order then of the most? If he's at 163, what do you think? Who's the most?
John.
All of the Beatles have one. even though they're dead
John.
before. Who is the most, and how many do you think it is? So you're saying it's John is the most.
6 million.
6 million. All right, Justin, who do you think it is?
Paul.
You think it's Paul? All right, and what do you think he's at? Again,
I'm gonna say it's
163,000.
at 6 million as well.
6 million as well. All right, so it is John. It is John, number one.
Makes
and
sense.
then it does go Paul, and then George, and Ringo is in last place. So it kind of John, Paul, George, Ringo. It goes in the way that you have always been taught to say their names.
Right.
John has 1.46 million subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Paul has 880,000, and then George has 453,000, which is just crazy to me.
Is there an official
Why are you
Beatles
There's no
YouTube?
point to subscribe, though.
It makes sense that there isn't really
I guess
a point.
Ringo, because he's
Ringo
still
and
doing
Paul.
stuff.
Paul is the one that I was like, okay, I thought Ringo would be closer to the million mark, and then I thought Paul would at least be at like 5 or 10 million because, I mean, didn't Kanye make him famous a couple of years ago? Like, that's not numbers of a guy that Kanye worked with. There are rappers that Kanye has worked with one time, and they have no other singles that I've ever heard of that definitely have more than 880,000 subscribers. Like, that's insane to me. It's insane. But, again, not too shocking on the order of it all. I would say John Lennon probably in the last year gained a lot because that Imagine song was redone over by all those celebrities, so people were Googling him more.
I fucking hate
It's such a bad song, and that was such a bad version of it, and I really used to love that song, and now it's just, I don't know, just it's very easy to get tired of John Lennon post the Beatles.
The crazy thing is the Beatles do have a YouTube channel.
That's the one thing I didn't look at. What is their?
It's 5.39 million.
That's it.
But you have to
but
figure.
you know how many people are subscribed to Kanye?
How many?
Not even 7 million. Like 6.7.
Really? So I guess YouTube is more for the discovery. I mean, obviously, of videos and entertainment.
It's more
people
more
aren't
a
going there.
visual platform for people. But you got to
wouldn't that
look at the
include
people
YouTube
that are
music though. That would include.
Yeah, but those people, Beatles fans,
But you know
like
how many,
the people.
How many does PewDiePie have?
I'll let you know in a second.
I know how many.
but the
I'm looking at
Red
Beatles-
Link
now.
has 17 million subscribers. I know
Yeah,
that.
PewDiePie has 109 million
Subscribers?
subscribers.
It's crazy.
Jesus
But the people
Christ.
that like the Beatles are already listening to them on record
He is
players.
109 times more popular than John Lennon
On YouTube.
on YouTube, and probably in the world right now. Like, I'm sure that there are plenty of people that are wearing Lennon shirts that don't know.
Well, obviously, people don't know who like younger generations obviously don't know who the Beatles are.
Yeah, because again, they thought Kanye brought Paul McCartney to the foreground.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right.
To the foreskin.
Do we know if any of them have foreskin? I don't know. I heard a story about Patrick Stewart finding out he had foreskin in his 60s. He thought he was circumcised, and his wife was like, "No, you're not circumcised." And he went to a doctor and was just like, "Doc, I'm circumcised, right?" And he goes, No, you are not circumcised. He goes, "What?" And he just never saw another penis that wasn't like his, so he just assumed, "Oh yeah, I'm
How
circumcised."
long did he think your foreskin was then?
How short is his foreskin naturally is really what I want to know. He's got a turtleneck.
He's got a natural turtleneck?
It's got an insignia right here. It's got 4 little dots on the side of it.
It's very
and
fancy.
it's very fancy, very fancy. It's a captain's level foreskin.
Sir
for sure.
Patrick Stewart's foreskin.
P Stew's P crew cut. Dick Sweater. All right, Dick Sweater.
Dick Sweater. Hey, I'm Dick Sweater. I sell used Cadillacs.
My name's Dick Sweater here at Dick Sweater
Sweaty
Kia
Dick.
and Sweaters.
Sweaty Dick Kia.
Sweaty Dick Kia. All right, guys, well, we've got a whole night of drinking a lot of stuff and listening to a lot of music ahead of us. So let's jump into it. Justin, what are we drinking?
Drink it so you don't have to. Review it in the morning from the bathroom. Cheap booze and craft brews. Review it in the morning from the bathroom. What are we drinking? What are we drinking? Yeah!
You suffer from dick sweat, get a dick sweater. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You say a dick zester? Was that what you were saying?
Yeah, a little zest of dick.
A little zest. You just want to shave a little bit of that off just to get the
Little
essence
zest.
of dick skin. You just want the dick skin. Now, if we could get some donkey dick skin, essence of donkey dick skin, then we really put that right over our donkey fondue that we're going to be making with that good old donkey cheese. All right, guys. Yeah. Well, I was shocked today when I looked in our rankings and realized we've not done Rolling Rock as an official ranking. This has been traditionally our drinking beer. Like, for years, when I started working at the Cinder, it was the drinking beer of all of the bartenders there, and I was like, wait, do you guys...
And the customers.
And the customers. And I'm like, do you guys actually all drink this? Because I never drank until I started hanging out with you. And then you, at some point, Zach, got... I don't know which one of you started doing, but started bringing home Rolling Rock, and I'd be here, or I'd come over, and there'd just be Rolling Rock. And I immediately thought of it as... Because I hadn't purchased it. I was like, oh, this must be like the cheaper version of like getting Miller Lite. And at some point it was, and now it's pretty much just getting Miller Lite. Like, you can get it kind of at the same price point. But Rolling Rock Extra Pale from the glass line tanks of Old Latrobe. Not anymore.
Nope, it's made in New Jersey now.
It's owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Actually, it's owned by InBev. It was owned by Anheuser.
Right, because InBev has got that whole bullshit now.
So Anheuser sold Rolling Rock to InBev.
Right.
And then like a year after that, InBev just bought all of Anheuser. So technically, Anheuser doesn't own it.
Doesn't own it, so it's not under that umbrella. But it is. They still list it as manufactured by them, so I don't know what the rulings are. It originally came
probably
out
in a facility
in 1939. It came back all the way in 1939, and it is 4.4%. And they give it they say it's a golden yellow color, which is traditional for most light beers. Now, first time I remember seeing these was people drinking the pony bottles. Pony bottles were really big,
popular. Yeah.
People love them. But honestly, having it out of the tap when we had it on tap at work, I thoroughly enjoyed that and drank it way more than I drink it out of the can or the bottle. Now, generally, I do appreciate things out of the can. This one is one that I was introduced to in a can first and then went to a green bottle.
Yep. I
don't really like green bottles for the most part. Too much light gets in. You can get them skunked a little bit. You're taking a risk.
I've never really had a problem with bottles of Rolling Rock.
Not too much. They're not like in an open case. Like, unless you're buying it from some shitty pizzeria that's got their beer cooler right next to the window and it's actually getting sunlight into it, you're probably not too much of a risk. But I will say, for the price, it is good. The price is oddly cheaper out in California, where I got it for $14 a 30-pack a year and a half ago. And, yeah, $13 for a 40-pack. I thoroughly enjoy this beer. It is light. It is refreshing. It is a crushable fucking beer. And I don't think there's really, for me, much more to add to it. Justin, what's your experience with this beer? Obviously, we drink it a bunch. And what are your personal thoughts on it?
I mean, it's something that I'll buy. Buy it often. Usually,
it's an easy solution to a problem of what do I get?
What do I want? I don't really want anything heavy. Don't just give me a Rolling Rock.
It's the equivalent of going into Blockbuster in the 90s and just getting an Adam Sandler movie. You're like, just get this.
Pretty much.
Got a 1 out of 2 chance that it's going to be decent.
I would probably get it to bring to parties.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just one of those things I know anybody will, like most people. I don't know if I've really run into anybody where they're like,
oh no, I won't drink that. People will do that to Coors, people will do that to Miller Lite, people do that to Budweiser, but Rolling Rock does seem to be neutral. And I'm curious if that's different outside of our area, because it is a Pennsylvania thing.
True.
Even though it's no longer a Pennsylvania thing, it is supposed to be like, Pittsburgh area, Old Latrobe. Like, it has a storied past for almost 100 years around here.
Right.
Justin, what do you give this on a scale of 0 to 100? Again, it's extra pale Rolling Rock. It doesn't say Pilsner. It doesn't say Lager or anything like that. Just extra pale.
Be a little more biased in this. Yeah. Because I've drank so much of it and I do enjoy it. I'm going to go with a 68.
68. That's a fair one. That's a fair one. And I understand the bias because you don't want to go too hard against it so you don't overrank it. But you don't want to sit here and go, no, it's a 90, bro. It's a 90 because I drink it all the time. But drinking it as much as we do has to play into it a little bit. Zach, what are your thoughts on this beverage and what do you give it?
I love Rolling Rock.
You love it?
This is my go-to for many years. I started drinking Rolling Rock in college.
Hell yeah.
Which was 12 years ago.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, you're old. 12 years ago, Justin was almost 50. So that's a really long time ago.
I do prefer it in the bottles.
You like it in the bottles?
Even at home, I usually buy it in the bottles.
That is true.
Then probably, if you count Nights at Floods in the Cinder.
Yeah.
I must have had 10,000.
Yeah.
Or who knows how many countless bottles of Rolling Rock I have consumed.
It's your go-to. You drink it over Miller Lite. You're going to drink it over almost any other light beer, right? Like, in the way that I generally will reach towards, like, a Hamm's, this is the one that you opt for 9 times out of 10.
Demis is saying that you put him onto Rolling Rock as well.
Oh, yeah.
You helped the sales of Rolling Rock a lot in this area.
Well, and like I was the only guy drinking it for a while. Then everyone started drinking it.
Yeah.
And then I started going to the Cinder, and everybody at the Cinder drinks
all
it.
of the employees. I literally got done with work.
Yeah, and
my
all
first
the
day of work.
regulars too.
Yeah.
Swan.
Oh, yeah.
All the old
Yeah.
men. Everyone loves a Rolling Rock.
Everybody can drink it, and if it's one that's like accidentally opened, it's like the quickest thing. Because sometimes there'll be
It's
a
a neutral
Heineken
beer, man.
and a Rolling Rock next to each other, and someone goes, "Give me another Heineken," and you just pop it open. You're like, fuck, that was a Rolling Rock. Put it back down. You're like, this will be gone in 5 minutes. Anybody will drink this here,
especially ice cold, dude.
Oh yeah, super cold. It's the easiest to drink. Zach, on a scale of 0 to 100. Biased or unbiased?
77.
77. Now, I feel like I'm closer to Zach on this. I do think it is, in the last 5 years, I'll say, this has become my go-to beer. I will get this now more than I used to get Hams. I love Hams. I think I'm a Hampian through and through. Although Steve-O just told me that there's some beef going on. He's off the Hams kick right now.
Okay.
He's apparently they changed something and they're not making it a certain way. It's higher. They changed it to higher fructose syrup, I think, into it for the Hams. So he's on Molson right now. He's gone to the Molson side.
Gotcha.
Which fair. But I love Rolling Rock. I do really love Rolling Rock. So I have to go. I'm going to go about where you are. I'm going to go with the 77 on this. I wanted one of us to rank it as a 33, though, just because, but it doesn't deserve that. It doesn't deserve that at all. It is extremely delicious, extremely delightful, very, very fucking drinkable beer. Now, we have 2 more beers they're going to be doing, but we're going to play this a little differently than we usually do. What we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is jump right into the featured music, and then we're going to start drinking on our Guinness that we have here, and then we'll come back after the song.
Whole fucking song to let this fucker settle.
That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. So start popping yours open, and we can start chit chatting a little bit about. Oh, was that both of you at the same time there?
Yeah,
that was
good.
Perfect. All right, so No Matter is an energetic, fast-paced female-male pop-punk rock band from Northern Ireland, reviewed as one of the best pop-punk bands in the UK scene and as one of the greatest things to ever come out of Northern Ireland. They have gigged and toured extensively across the UK, Ireland, and Europe, with several multiple country tours under their belts, and in 2019 played Pausa Fest in Montreal, Canada, followed by a headlining show in Toronto. They are currently working on new material and can't wait to hit the road again to gig even more than they did before. You can check out their latest album, Excess Baggage, which was reviewed on punknews.org as being ranked as the number 8 in the best of 2019 list of bands, among such bands as Blink-182, Sum 41, Weezer, and more.
Damn.
So they're in very good pop-punk, pop alternative company in their reviews and their rankings. These guys have had amazing reviews across the boards, but one of the editors of punknews.org said that this is his favorite pop-punk album of the last 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
Which is giving you a lot right off the bat. He gives it a 4 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5 stars on that. I don't know if I'll say it's the best pop punk in the last 25 years, because most pop punk has happened in the last 25 years, in my opinion. 95 forward. Before that, you're more punk rock, pop punk late 90s. Before that, you were more, Descendant stuff. You're more punk rock. But it is extremely fun, and the video is amazing. We're going to be playing the single for Me Versus Myself. More recent video recorded remotely during lockdown while they weren't able to see each other. Just so you know, the households in Northern Ireland haven't been able to mix since September. So there's nothing. You can't, it's very strict over there. This was an animated video that was made by Kat herself, the bassist and one of the vocalists and the main vocalist in this single. And she did it in honor of the old retro boxing games, kind of the style of
it's
the
Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
It's got that same feel. So here we are. We're going to jump right into it again. Really fun pop punk, female fucking vocals. Always love it. Again, in honor of Paddy's Day, we went and found you guys an Irish band. They're not traditional Irish, and that's what I like. I like non-traditional Irish. So we're going to pop open some traditional Irish and jump into this. Enjoy.
sheltered is hell. All my new scar, I face them all daily. Southpaw glass jaw, it's never all gravy, but eyes down, not up, and now the gloves are off.
Alrighty, guys, there you have it. Again, that is Me Versus Myself, one of the latest releases from No Matter, again, off the album Excess Baggage, right out of Northern Ireland. Now, in honor, again, of St. Paddy's Day, we're drinking some Irish. We got the Rolling Rock, just to clarify, it's in a green can, so that's Irish, all right? So that's Irish. But now we're going traditional Irish. We've done the foreign stout on the show before, and I did not look at the ranking, so I want to see what we put this next to that. Just
if I remember correctly, it was not good.
Not as high as we think. I probably went high, and you guys probably went low on that one because I'm a sucker for that Guinness stuff.
Maybe or it was just, maybe we did like it. I don't fucking remember. Maybe
Now,
it was one of the surprising things.
Guinness is traditionally looked at in America as a very heavy beer. People think that it's super thick, and I don't. It is very light, easy.
He's so easy.
Such
to
an
chug.
easy beer to drink. And Zach made
It's
a point
literally
to bring this
chocolate
up.
milk.
This is supposed to be, according to how we were all educated from good old Barry, you drink it in 5 sips. It is a 5-sipper.
This is gonna be a 2-sipper for me.
Yeah, it's. I love it. I've drank a lot of Guinness in my life. Once I found out I was actually Irish, not German, I dove even more into it, you know?
Yeah.
All those self-hating Irish folk back in my family tree, they wanted to be Germans, so they didn't have to be the Irish when they came to America. I wonder how they just assumed nobody knew what accents were when they got here. Like, what? No, I'm from Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf, I tell you.
Actually, you know what was weird? My dad was talking about this the other day. He said during World War II, the German bombers that would go over England, if they were going to crash, they would try and land towards Ireland.
Really?
Because if they crashed in Ireland, they knew if they survived the crash, they'd get a meal and a beer from the Irish people. Just being nice.
Would make
they
sense.
Drag a
Ireland
guy out
wasn't
of the plane,
really,
like, well,
they weren't really
they
super
weren't
involved.
really
They weren't involved.
so they were like,
they were
well,
far enough out that they
just-
escaped most of
you
the
want a
attention.
potato and a brew, guy? You look like you just survived a plane crash. You need a potato and a brew.
You need a fucking beer. And this, I've heard the story for my entire life that back in the day during the Industrial Revolution, Irish workers would be working like 18-hour shifts. They would have basically a 6-hour break, and you would have like a little break in the middle of the day to eat. But instead of eating, you would drink like 2 or 3 Guinnesses and then go back to work because it has enough nutrients in there to keep you going, but it also keeps your spirits up. And that's where you do get the cliches of the fighting Irish, you get the drunk Irish, everything like that kind of comes and stems from that. But at some point, it was safer to drink this than the water.
Yeah.
So, totally get that. And there is very little in the world that's more comforting than just a good Guinness. And I know that we don't have the real Guinness here, people in Ireland. I understand that you guys have the much better version. The closest thing we can get is the extra stout. But I just really
There's-
love.
I like this.
There's
And
a
then the
thing-
It's just
nitro
nice
can,
and velvety.
It's great.
Oh, it's perfect. It's as good as you can get it without it being on tap, for sure. And
You
they have
should
the
not be
nitro
just sipping
bottles,
this beer though.
No, 4 or 5
Like,
sips
I
max.
think a lot of people have that problem where they're just gonna nurse a Guinness, and that's not how you drink
No.
it. There's I don't know, just the
You sip
flavor
it
that
quick,
sits in your
you
mouth
get it
from
down,
a Guinness is just so
and then
so nice.
and it's supposed to be served around that like nice 55-degree mark. It's supposed to be more of like the room temperature beer. I love, like, I don't know if there's anything that I hate about it. I used to have like a fear of Guinness because it's so dark and intimidating right up front. You're just kind of like, do I want to have that? But once I had this and then I tried like a Young's double chocolate stout, I'm like, oh, Young's double chocolate stout is literally a fucking Wendy's Frosty in a cup.
Yes.
This is so much easier to drink.
Yep.
And I don't know, it's one of my favorite beers in the world. And I don't want to go too crazy high on this, but I have to give it the respect, and my heritage has to be represented here. So I'm going to give this, I'm going to break the 80 threshold, and I'm giving this an 82. This is an 82 for me. For a stout, this is the stout I put everything else
Well, I mean,
up
if this
against.
is your standard, that makes sense.
This is what I put it against. Can I get it down as easily as this? And if it's in that same ABV range, I want it to be easier to drink on me.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I would rather drink a Guinness than most stouts that are out there, even from microbrews. Like, I appreciate a lot of them, and I like the fact that we do this.
They're one and done. They're one and done.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I can't tell you. I mean, I just opened up one of the peanut butter stouts that were in the refrigerator from the last time.
From last couple of weeks or like a month or so ago now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm close. I'm gonna go 80 on this.
80 on this. All right, yeah. Zach, what are you giving this? Irish? You don't really got any Irish blood in you, either of you, right? No Irish.
I'm Irish.
As
far as I know,
UK Irish or actual Irish?
No,
and
I have
English?
Irish.
Okay.
I'm a lot more English.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit Irish, but mostly.
Who
English.
isn't? We're all Irish today and tomorrow.
So my dad was born in Ireland and grew up in Ireland.
Is he a fan of Guinness? And did he have Guinness growing up when he was a kid, or were they drinking other things there when they were?
My dad.
What do you leave there?
My dad grew up in Ireland, but he became an adult in Readers, so he drinks Bush.
Yeah. I don't know. I just assume that at the age of 8, they're putting it in a bottle with a nipple on it for you.
No, we always drink, because we always do big St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
So we always drink Guinness for St. Paddy's Day. And while I love Guinness, I very rarely walk into somewhere and just I think I'll have a Guinness.
Yeah. It's become my normal with certain bars. Like if I go into certain bars around here and I just can't think and I just know they have Guinness on tap, it's like, give me Guinness while I think.
The Hideaway I was going to say is the right thing.
I had a Guinness glass with my fucking name engraved in it behind the bar, you know?
Yeah.
When we did...
The 200 Club?
Me and James, not James, James... Asian James.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did the 100 Club.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm pretty sure
James
I
was
did
in
the
it. James
100
was in it for sure. Yeah. He did that in maybe a week.
Were definitely
sometimes.
in it.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a sad thing that club doesn't exist anymore. But I would now be a part of it.
I drank more Guinness probably in the Hideaway than
anywhere else. So what do you give Guinness? Scale of 0 to 100. You try to take our rankings out of it and just go with your heart. Go with your gut.
I'm gonna go. I gave Rock a 77. I'm gonna give this a 77.
77.
Well.
All right. Hell yeah, man.
I see a lighter
for what somebody. It is. It is definitely worthy of that ranking, if not a little bit more. All right, guys. So we're gonna jump in. We have a second single, as promised, from No Matter. The next one we're going to be hearing is called Migraine. And again, this comes from their performance at the Manchester Punk Fest way back in 2018. This is right before their last tour where they toured Slovenia, Slovakia, Poland, Germany, the Netherlands, Czech Republic, and Belgium. And they got to do a bunch of really cool appearances. And their stage presence is really awesome. I really enjoy their stage presence. Oh, yeah. The 3 vocals, when you have the ability to have 3 solid vocalists, it's great, and I will also probably talk a little bit more about it afterwards. If you like anything you're hearing from them, and this and the last song are similar but different, still in the same vein, but this is going to be more of the guys on the main vocals. I would highly recommend going to check out their YouTube page. You can find them at No Matter Band on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find them by searching No Matter Band, and it's the first thing that comes up on YouTube. But they did a couple of quarantine covers that are really fucking awesome. So we'll talk about those in a little bit. But without any further delay, let's jump right into Migraine. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Drink some Guinness.
Things that you said seem to enter
Alrighty, guys, again, there you have it. That was Migraine from No Matter, again, from Northern Ireland. Check them out at No Matter Band on Facebook and on Instagram. And as I was saying, go to YouTube, check out their quarantine covers.
Hell yeah.
I think it says they have 3 of them. The 2 that I checked out, first I saw that they did Nice Guys Finished Last by Green Day, which is
That's
one
a
of...
good song.
I love that era of Green Day so much.
Wasn't that was on the...
that was on the International Super Hits, for
what
sure.
soundtrack was that on? It was on, what's that football movie? Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Varsity
Varsity
Blues,
Blues,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a good song for a soundtrack because it's got that like walking bass line and everything in it. And I mean, their cover of it is really awesome. But the better thing that they do, and the thing I was really excited to see, and the voice, everything really works. Their tones on their guitars just fully work. They do Private Eye by Alkaline Trio, and it's fucking
That's
awesome.
Cool.
I was thinking of just throwing that in there to play, but you know, legalities and stuff. I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way, but I'm sure Matt Skieb has got enough money with his fucking Blink-182
We should do
checks.
that and do the verses from Private Eye, but then when it comes to chorus, we'll do Watching the Detectives.
Just switch it up. Did you ever hear? Remember the what was the Legions of Doom? The guys that used to do. I used to play them for you guys. I think all the time back in the day. But they do. It wasn't private. It was like Mercy Kill or some other song mixed with like a Thrice song or I don't know, I forget. But it was fucking awesome. And Stupid Kill. It was Mercy Kill and Stupid Kid combined. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome. But either way, No Matter, some great covers that they got out there during quarantine. I'll just say this. I love everything about them. Their drummer's just really fun to watch. I've played with some drummers that look very studious behind the drum kit, and this guy just looks like he's like on it, but he's still got that smoothness. He's very smooth, but he's got a very rigid approach. Like you can tell it. Maybe he wasn't, but it looks like somebody that like grew up in school band and then moved on to be like a punk drummer. But he's in the nicest way possible. He's got a very fun, dorky presence behind the drum kit, and I thoroughly enjoy it. He also looks. Most everybody anywhere looks like they can beat me up, but that guy also looks like he can beat me up. And I'm just gonna say, love you, appreciate you,
beat Kyle up,
and come beat me up whenever you want.
Justin sucks. PA, you can fight Kyle yourself.
Yeah, just put it right in your Google. It'll take you from Belfast to here in a couple of boat rides. I don't know how that shit works. I don't know. Now,
Belfast is right off 33.
Right off 33. It is. It's not too far away. We can go from there to Moscow pretty quickly, but only around here. Now, second beer that we're going to be drinking is Harp Lager. Now, Harp Lager was originally brewed by the same company that makes Guinness, but no longer are either of them technically made by the original Guinness company. They are now owned by
Still saying that it's brewed by them.
Diageo or Diageo.
It's still saying that it's being
It's still
brewed
by them. So this was a lot more recent of a beverage than I assumed. It was established in 1960. Harp's only been around for 61 years now, and I just always assumed that this was probably before Guinness even, because just, you know, not knowing things and making assumptions.
I hope people watch us open the beer,
Yeah.
things like that, and then smoke cigarettes constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, man, these guys are so fucking cool.
These guys are not gonna live long. Oh no. Welcome to the early retirement party, where we're celebrating our retirement every day because we're not gonna make it to the actual age. Now, visually, if you pour it into a glass, it looks kind of like a Miller Lite. It looks very, you know, it's got that yellowy color to it. Now, it was brewed in 1960 because the Guinness company basically went, okay, people are switching, you know, with the times. At this point, people started drinking more what they called continental lagers. So they went for this one, and if I'm not mistaken, this guy, was he like a 4.5? 4.5. I will say I've only ever had Harp a handful of times. I don't ever see it anywhere. I don't see it on tap. I don't see it in bottles anywhere. I feel like I only found it today because tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and everything Irish is on sale.
Out on the shelf.
I love the visual presentation of it. I like the blue, the gold, and the red really work together on it.
I feel
And
like
that
this
off-white.
is a new...
I feel like it's got to be a
I
new
feel like
bottle, or it's a
even
throwback
like
bottle.
Yeah, this looks like a throwback bottle. Because 5-10 years ago, Harp
I can't even remember what they
it
looked like.
didn't look
I
like
just
this.
remember seeing the Harp, and that's about it. This looks more in even the design of the bottle front itself. The label has more of like a Dundee brown ale feel, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Like it has that more but which is probably
It's definitely been okay. So the newer ones look like fucking like Miller Lite bottles.
okay.
Where it's wrapped.
All right,
And they have a Harp Premium.
but it feels
the old
green,
ones,
the
the
green
gold
logo. That's
yeah,
what
the
I
green and
remember.
gold, right?
green and gold.
Yeah.
Well, the green logo is more modern. The old one is
Yeah,
literally.
that one. It's just a Guinness.
It's like the old Guinness with blue harp in the middle.
Okay, all right.
But
That's
it's the gold
gotcha.
oval.
Gotcha. Now, I just took a sip of it and immediately forgot I just took a sip of it. I'll say that much about it.
Yeah, it's sort of like it tastes like Guinness in a sense, or it has the same feel of Guinness with some leftover.
It's fizzier. Like, you get
Yeah.
that, obviously, because it's not a nitro. It is more just a traditional carbonated beverage. I don't like it as much as I like Rolling Rock. I'll say that.
It has a mustiness like
It has
Heineken
that,
has.
and that lager taste. It is that lager,
Yeah,
that
it's a
more
lager.
traditional
Yeah.
lager taste. And obviously, they were trying to compete with Heineken probably more directly than anybody else when they came up with this beverage
Now,
in
if this was
1960.
more sweet, it would taste exactly like Budweiser.
It would. It really. It's got the
Yeah.
dryness of Bud, or it would even the bubbliness of it probably puts it more towards the champagne of beers
True.
range. But because it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's a
have
little
that,
darker than
it's a little
High
darker
Life.
than High Life. It's not as sweet, but it's not offensive. And again, I put these out about a half hour before we went live, so they could get a little bit of time to kind of sit down to what the appropriate temperature would be. And I don't. It's not offensive. It's not offensive. It's above middle of the road to me, but it is not anything that I'm like crazy like jived on. I'm gonna try to do something in a minute because I do have one more bottle of Guinness, but I want to see what your.
You make a black and tan.
I'm gonna
with
try without.
I'm gonna join
Without a
you.
spoon.
I have a little bit left.
You have a little bit left. Justin, what is your opinion on the Harp? Have you had it much in the past before?
I'm sure I've gotten it like when I got into microbrews and stuff, and I was just like,
Let me try that.
yeah, I'm gonna get this Harp, cool, and had no idea that it was a Guinness product at one point, and I don't know. It's not something that I don't think I've gone to a bar and been like, yeah, let me have a Harp.
It's never been a beer that
I've
anybody's
not
even
been
just
to
like
somebody's
handed to me
house
before.
Yeah, I've not been to somebody's house and like, you gotta drink this Harp. Like, there's nothing. I don't know.
That worked
To
a
me,
lot
it's not
better
that
than I thought it was
special.
going to. I'm really kind of shocked with that slow pour that actually kind of worked. Sorry, it's not that special to you.
I don't think it's that special. I think it's okay.
So what do you give it? 0 to 100. What are you giving the Harp?
I'm gonna go 55.
55. Fair. It's fair. I'm gonna go a little bit higher than that, but for a lager, I honestly don't know if I like it as much as I like Yingling Lager. And I can't remember what I went with that. So I'm going to go a little bit higher, but not that much. I'm going to give it a 61.5. It's a 61.5. It's good. I could drink definitely a couple of them, but I can immediately feel that it's sitting on my stomach heavier than the Guinness does.
Big time.
It's definitely, the carbonation is filling you up a lot more.
I could drink the 4 Guinness before.
All
I
right,
could
it's starting to
probably
mix a
finish
little
this
bit
one.
more than it should have there. Now, I will tell you that in the UK and in Ireland specifically, you don't call it a black and tan. You don't call it a black and tan. I believe they said it's called a 1-in-1. You call it a 1-in-1 because the black and tans are actually a nickname for a part of the military, some like force that like was happening during Ireland leaving the UK and like fighting for their own independence. So a black and tan was a reference to the uniforms. And then when we started having them here and we started making black and tans, we just called them black and tan because it was the color.
I mean,
But over
I guess
there,
that's-
you call it a 1-in-1. So
I
if you
guess
wanted to
that's
get one,
like when Fenton said that we were being offensive to him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
called,
Oh, yeah.
ordered car bombs, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said,
yeah,
"Hey,
that's
I don't come into your bar and order 9/11."
it's the
So-
greatest thing that he ever said ever. I literally walked in, can I get 2 Irish car bombs? He was like, go fuck yourself. What if I walked into one of your bars and ordered a 9/11? And I
Oh,
went,
what would a 9/11 be?
a 9/11, we've already established this to be 2 shots next to each other, and
Oh,
both of them
yeah,
have
we did.
151, and you would light them on fire. One, and then 4
We
minutes
talked-
later,
we
the
did
other
this.
one. We've definitely
We
done
did
this.
this.
But let's bring it back up on Patty's Day.
Yeah.
Trying to do that slow pour without a, it doesn't work. It just slowly all mixes together. But I'm going to give us a taste on what it feels like together. Zach, what are you giving this? 60, a fair 60.
It's alright.
It's all right.
Also, black and tans sort of suck.
Black and tans are good.
I'm not a
with-
fan of
with
the
a-
black and tan.
With like well, I guess Magners.
The Magners.
Magner, yeah, but that's a whole different.
It's a different thing.
We've had the local brewery, the local cidery Hardball. We have them on tap. It's a caramel apple cider.
Right.
And if you do a black and tan with that, the mixture of the in-your-face, like over the top sweetness of what most local cideries and most local wineries are very, very super sweet, and it sells. So power to them on that. It worked so well with the Guinness, like you can cut it down. But if anybody wanted a Guinness before that, it was with Yingling, and I always felt weird because it's supposed to be more of a pale ale that you're serving it with.
Right.
So even Harp doesn't really cut it for what you're supposed to be doing. It's not the greatest beer in the world. Harp, mixing them together, it's not bad. But I really just want to have a Guinness. I just want to have a Guinness, tasting a little bit of that flavor.
Yep.
And you're right, it does have a Guinness feel to it, but then the fizziness. And
just
then
the hoppiness of
it's
the
got
lager.
the dry champagne feel in there.
And it's not that it's that hoppy. It's just that when you have an IPA that has very dry hops, it sits on the back of your mouth.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I have to keep drinking because this sucks. You know?
Yeah, especially when you're not in that mood, for sure. Now, I've got just poured shit all over myself trying to make that black and tan. What do you think, in your opinion, the Magners is a great combo? Have you ever done any weird combinations with black and tans? Because I would be interested in seeing with like the peanut butter milk stout or the raspberry milk stout, trying to make, if you get like Magic Hat number 9 and that raspberry, I'm really interested in what an apricot and raspberry combo would taste like.
Honestly, I think that we should do when we do a pre-recorded is, and we can do this, we can just go and find whatever loose bottles that we can.
I like loose bottles.
Mix them all together.
No, and find
It's a one and one and
find
one and
a
one and one and
combination
one.
that is the correct peanut butter and jelly combo,
Okay.
or in that vein. Like, you know, I know black and tan and all that, but I mean, I feel like it's in the same reign of flavor profile. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah. Now,
other than food, no, I have not fucked with anything in the black and tan.
I'm sipping. The more I sip on this, the more I am just again saying that I kind of just wish it was Guinness only.
Yeah.
I've got another Harp over here, so I'm going to try to get that one down just on its own. But while we're sipping on these, we do have another song that we're going to be playing tonight because it's our song. As always, we've written, recorded, mixed, and mastered our Brunch Weekly original single in the last couple of hours. Started around like 3-4 o'clock today. And this is oh my god, it's just been a train of silliness the last couple of weeks. We are in the midst of Bubba Chedda, the Brunch Funk album, and all inspired by cheese or cheese-named things. So tonight, as far as the story goes, this is the Ballad of Bubba Chedda. This is the kind of not the title track, but as close as you're going to get to a title track on this. Bubba Chedda, Zach explained it before, a little bit in a previous episode. You said at that point it was kind of like more like not necessarily a person, but like a feeling in that way. And this time we just went with it is a person. It is a person, and he is in my opinion, he is a loud, brash, in-your-face, fun-loving redneck that is pimped to the max. This guy's got gold ring. He is the Biggie Smalls of the backwoods.
That's what I pictured in my head that he just looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which, when you say that, I just think he kind of looks like John Popper, but like wearing a hoodie. Like he's got real big sideburns, jowly neck, and he's probably got one
he's
or
wearing
two
got a big fucking
gold chain. Oh yeah, gold chain, necklace.
Rings.
He's got the rings. He's got the watch. He's got everything. But it is all muted by him wearing like camo hat and Carhartt bibs for sure. Like this guy is Carhartt bibs with nothing underneath it. This is most likely what this guy's walking around with 90% of the year.
So Biggie Smalls plus Maddie Matheson?
Yeah, pretty much. Maddie Matheson is what popped into my head when I was just describing that, so that makes total sense. Now, as far as the musical side of this, we've been, again, going with the funk. Who are you listening to this week? Curtis. You were listening to Curtis, and you...
Curtis Mayfield, that is, not 50 Cent.
Yeah, Curtis Mayfield.
But I love 50 Cent, too. We weren't listening to 50 Cent.
We weren't listening to 50 Cent. And this song, aside from being super silly... we spent a lot more time on the drums than we did on the past couple because you were just coming up with weird things and then Zach's trying to like cut them and make them like work in different spots.
Right.
And then the editing side of things just really took a hold. Yeah. And the song was more complete when I did the vocals than almost any other song has been before.
I mean, this week I got bass, so that's like new.
Yeah,
sometimes I'll get guitar and bass, but most of the time through the process, it's like rough guitar with
you got to
some
actually
synth
hear
and
most
stuff
of the
like
song
that,
when you
know what I
sat
mean?
down. Now, as far as the recording of the drum side of things, what were you pulling from on this one, Justin? What was your thought pattern behind this?
Fun and punky, yeah. Fun and funky.
Pun
You know
and
what I mean?
funky? You went with pun and funky?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was screaming, "Think about shrimp!"
Yeah, shrimp.
You did say think about shrimp. While you were
Eating
drumming
some
this,
fucking shrimp.
the most important thing is you think about eating shrimp.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know if it really works, but I think that is the way you should listen to it.
Yes.
You should listen to this as if you were thinking about eating shrimp. Now, we do have an underlying story kind of going throughout this album that if you're watching the show, you know. There is a guy named Charles who was a little bit of a psycho asshole with the Gouda in the first song. At his job, got fired, and then went to the hard stuff, the real soft stuff, actually, the feta. And then now he is working off of debt and working for Bubba Chedda.
Yeah.
And so we kind of keep that, hidden in there in the background. But Bubba Chedda, he's a cool cat. He is he's smooth, but
Purveyor of fine goods.
he can like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. He is known to get a thing or two if you need a thing or two. But he's also known to get the ladies and to slap a couple people around when they really need it. He is the coolest, smoothest guys of guys.
Wooded section.
In his wooded section of the world. Now, I don't really know what else to say about this, because this is, I think we're capping off the weirdness here, and I'm excited to see where the next couple of songs go, because what cheese are we gonna do? I feel like Brie has to be done. We have to do something with Brie, and that could be a nice love song even.
Could be.
Singing about Brie. But this one is just all about a badass. This is like Bad Leroy Brown, but about a man named Bubba Chedda.
Yeah. I like that.
Let's jump right into it. Our Brunch Weekly original single for Season 5, Episode 23. Here it is, the third track off of Bubba Chedda, the Ballad of Bubba Chedda. The myth, rocking the illest shit. So fly, so high, catching lumbering by. He stands with cash, and he pick up to mash. He's chill, cool cat, stepwise you'll get slapped. The man, the king, decked out in gold and bling. He's dressed to impress, got the shit that'll leave you red. He's stoned, big bone, won't be going home alone. He's hazed, no phase, he leads the ladies crazed. Bubba Chedda, he's cool, Chedda, he's right, guys, there you have it. Bubba Chedda, the cool trend setter. Nothing better to be there. All right, guys, there you have it again. The third off of the album, Bubba Chedda. Now, this is where we're going to kick things up a notch. We're going to kick things up a notch.
Kicking it up a notch.
A couple notches. We are now going to do our definitive decision here on an argument. Now, I will say that there is one other brand that we could have added.
Both glass.
They are both glass.
Real quick,
Yeah.
which one of these have you drank more of? I think
I
I know the answer.
obviously.
Jameson. Way more Jameson. We are going to be drinking some Jameson and some Tullamore Dew. Now, Jameson is the go-to for us, I think, when we're doing shots. Tullamore Dew is, I don't think of it because a lot of places don't carry it.
That's true.
A lot of places don't
I
carry
almost
it.
never drink
And
It's
it.
way more
I
expensive, isn't
I
it?
feel like it has to be. I feel like that has to be part of the reason that not a lot of places carry both. Or they're just like, it's one or the other. We pick one. And I know that there have been things that people have said, like one's the Protestant, one's the Catholic. And that
Yeah,
argument
but we're
is really...
Satanists,
but
so
that-
what does it matter?
But that argument also is totally moot.tv in this situation because it's not between Jameson and Tully, it's between Jameson and Bushmills. And there were
it's
no
Bushmills.
small bottles of Bushmills that I saw.
So
we went with Tully.
We got Mikey saying that reminded him a lot of the Lennon Claypool Delirium. And he said that it's funny that we were bringing up, or we were talking
Nice,
about Tom
that's
Lennon.
fucking awesome. Hey, everything can be brought back to the fucking Beatles when you're talking music.
Now, before I crack into either of these,
Yes,
I'm
cracked
just
them
going to
open.
say,
I'm gonna let them breathe
if it's
a
a
little bit.
good bottle of Jameson,
That is what I was gonna. Yes.
I think I'm going to enjoy,
Jameson is famous, at least to
especially
us,
right now.
for not having consistency across the board. You will get a bad bottle of Jameson, and it does seem to happen.
Bad, it's just spicy.
It's got a spicier.
there's
Like,
something-
they didn't let it
it's-
age as long. They pulled it a couple of months
harder
or a
to
couple
get
of
down.
years, and you definitely have that after you drink it. When you've been doing shots of it for years, you shouldn't really have that reaction. But
Yes.
sometimes it's a welcomed thing. Sometimes
true.
you
Like,
really
oh,
are
yeah,
like,
I'm
oh
drinking
yeah, I'm
this."
drinking alcohol right now. Now, Jameson during this time of year, like anything else that's Irish, gets really. I'm assuming they have to plan far in advance, years and years in advance for every single St. Patty's. But I feel like no matter what, they have to bottle stuff before it is ready really to go. Now, I will say I've had plenty of Jameson. I've never had a tiny little JMO bottle in my recollection. I've had on airplanes. I've had Jack Daniels when I've asked for whiskey.
Right.
But I don't think I've ever been given
I had a
Jameson.
tiny little fireball bottle the other day. I was snowboarding,
Yeah.
and some kid snowboarding, and they was like, "Hey man, for you!" and threw me a fucking
Now, did you
a
look?
little airplane
was it
The
bottle.
35%er one or the 15%er one?
Yeah, was it
Because
from the store?
they have a 15% one that you can
No,
now
it was
get
regular.
at regular. You can get it at the beer distributors.
Yeah.
They're just doing like lower alcohol. It still tastes exactly the same,
Yep.
but it's only a 15%
I'm
bottle.
pretty sure this was a regular.
Yeah, all right.
But I don't know. But it was pretty cool.
Now, I feel like airplane bottles
cool.
are a wonderful thing, and I don't buy them very often because I'm just going to buy a whole bottle of liquor.
Does this equal out to a single shot, or is it two shots?
I feel like this is a
50
two-shot.
mil. What's a shot glass?
I don't know.
What's 1 ounce supposed to be?
I'm
8
not
ounces.
sure.
One ounce. 8 ounces.
One shot is
yeah.
supposed to be like 1 1/4 ounces, right? Like 1 1/4 ounces is a regular shot. I'm not sure what the 50 mil to it is. Now,
1 fluid ounce is 30 mil.
30
Okay,
mil.
so this is about a shot and a half.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Now, I will notice one thing. Tullamore Dew. If you've never noticed, Dew is its initials.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
DEW. I always thought it was just Tullamore Dew,
Dew,
and they've kind of leaned into that because that's how people pronounce it. But it was after one of the original distillers, DEW, were the initials there. Tullamore Dew started in 1829. Jameson started in 1780. And to give you a little bit of understanding, Guinness itself, I believe, is 1759. So there was a 21-year span where you had the ability to get Guinness, but you weren't able to get Jameson. So I'm wondering what they were putting in their Irish car bombs at that point. I don't know what they were
I don't
doing.
know.
Probably not much of anything.
dynamite.
Now,
What are we starting with on this?
I feel like to give it a fair shot, we have to start with the Tully. We
Okay.
have to start with the Tully because we're used to Jameson.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is it's about 2
smells
shots.
vanilla-y.
It does. Both have a very similar scent to them.
The Jameson smells spicier.
It does smell a little bit. I got one clogged nostril, so I'm only using one here. But the last time I remember having Tullamore Dew was at like the Amber Steakhouse. They didn't sell Jameson and they had Tullamore Dew.
Really?
And yeah, we would leave the casino and we would go down to the Amber.
You know, that's
R.I.P.
a Korean restaurant?
It's
now?
yeah, Korean barbecue, I believe they opened.
I
Yeah,
haven't been yet.
haven't been, but if it's good Korean barbecue, I will definitely
Fuck
go
yeah,
check
dude.
it out. Now, again, not a big Tully fan in my memory, but I'm willing to, for St. Paddy's Day's sake, and for all of you guys, so you can make your decision yourself, which your decision should be buy a bottle of each of them. Let's see which one we think definitively. Which one is the
Glasses
houseboat
up
ranking?
for responsibility.
Glasses up for responsibility.
That's what it says, dude.
Really?
On the back it says, glasses up to drinking responsibly.
Oh, so here's to not driving. So here you guys go. Tullamore Dew. I'm going to do about halfy on this guy. That's smooth.
It was very smooth.
That is really smooth. Oh, come on, Jameson. I hope you have a good showing here. Now,
There is a bite at the end.
definitely a bite,
It's less fire going down.
but that is sweet.
Yep.
That has the spice that I like. If you gave me that and said it was Jameson, I would not question you on that.
And I just ended up drinking the bottle.
Drinking the whole bottle.
Fuck it, dude.
Fuck it. Well, I'm gonna save a little bit to go back to.
No, that was really nice, though. It wasn't like there was some fire going down, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
Well,
like,
it should burn. It's not fucking Canadian mist,
Yeah.
or whatever that fucking shit is. You want it to actually burn. You want to taste. You're drinking whiskey for a fucking
Is it
reason, right?
smoother than Jameson?
Yeah,
they have that question.
Because all the mistakes I've made in my life.
If you gave me that and said it was Jameson, I would not know the difference. And I will say that plenty of times in my life as a bartender, somebody has said, "Hey, can I get a shot of Tullamore Dew?" And I've been too quick, and I just pour them a shot of Jameson. Just don't tell them that it's not Tullamore Dew, and nobody has ever questioned me on
Well,
it.
the thing is this a good batch of Tullamore Dew?
And is this a good batch of Jameson? So really,
Like, I have not drank enough of this to be like, oh no, that's the standard.
yeah, like maybe that shouldn't be the way it tastes. Maybe it's too sweet, or it's not sweet enough.
or that's a good one. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to say I think that's a good showing from the Tullamore
I
Dew there.
agree.
Before we lose the taste too much from that, let's jump into the bottle of JMO. Right. So tried and true. Here we go.
Oh, that's spicy.
Good, spicy.
Ooh, it's spicy.
But I will say that is it's spicy, but that's not a bad bottle
No,
of
it's
JMO
not a bad
spicy.
bottle.
Good.
But sipping it after, I'm glad we did it in that way, because the Tully would not have tasted like anything. Now,
No.
the
There's
question
like
comes
a
down to is
soap free, like a soapiness, floralness to
Yeah.
Jameson.
yeah. There's something.
I don't know if
something,
it's the wood or whatever.
Well, I think that was
whatever
a
it's-
big thing about how they are aged. One is aged.
oh, what's up, no matter? Thank you for being
hell
here.
yeah,
Oh, hey,
guys.
guys.
What's up?
Man
All the way
said
middle of the
salute.
night over there.
What is it?
Slante?
Slante.
I can never say it. I know how to read it though.
Salante. Sorry if I'm saying
Cheers
it wrong.
to you guys.
Cheers.
Long.
Schlong Long schlong day. Happy long schlong day to you. Now you guys are in the chat, so I'm curious for you guys. Are you Bushmills? Are you Tullamore Dew? Are you Jameson? If you're going Irish
these-
traditional whiskey, what do you go
We're
with?
used to this.
And what are your opinions on Guinness and Harp? If you guys want to chime in there, we would love to have some actual first-hand experience in Ireland. Because we're also drinking all this knowing that we might not be getting the best of the best here.
Yeah.
True.
But drinking
true.
those two side by side right there, if those are just, we could do the experiment 100 times, and I'm sure we will in the rest of our lives.
Yep.
What I think after that is that Tullamore Dew is way easier to drink. It is smooth. It was tasty. It was sweet. And I did not want to gag at all. And right now, while saying this, from the Jameson, I still have a gagginess in
Yeah.
me. Now, that could be, again, a bad performance from a bad batch or something like
Can
that.
we
But that
all
should
just
play
admit-
into it as well.
Can we all just admit that we've had that moment? Even it could be your second beer in, and you get that shot of Jameson, especially going to places like Floods.
Where you're like, I need to go to the bathroom right
Well,
now
well,
and spit up a little bit.
Well, yeah, you take that shot, and immediately as it hits your fucking mouth, you're
Jameson
like,
has made me throw up plenty of times. And because I've had it way more times, I can say Tullamore has never made me want to vomit. But I've definitely had Jameson, and it's like either I just ate, and then someone was like, I'm at the bar, and somebody's just like, hey, do you want to do a shot? And you're like, yeah, sure. And they give you a shot, and you're in the middle of your fucking cheesesteak or your fucking Reuben or whatever you're eating. And you already sipped the beer a couple of times. Someone buys you a shot. You do that. It's like, boop, boop, boop. I've definitely lost a few meals on the upchuck from Jameson there. Now, judging again, just from the performance of this
apparently
bottle.
it is Kat from No Matter, and she says that she is the worst to ask. So, hey. Also, can we just talk about shot etiquette real quick?
Say that again? Shot etiquette?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're, when bars start reopening and again and everything, if you're going out and you're buying shots for people, don't fucking waste time and ask them what they want. Unless you're being kind and like, hey, what do you want? And if you don't get a definitive answer, then just fucking order a shot that everybody.
I'm curious as to why this is coming up to you, because this is coming up to me specifically in my brain for something that happened 2 days ago.
No, I mean, it just happens all the time where it's like, what do you want? Hey, well, I'll get you a shot. What do you want? And it's
etiquette.
like, no, dude, like...
Good topic.
Like...
Just buy a shot.
I'll have whatever you're having.
Just buy the shot.
It doesn't matter.
The buyer chooses in that situation. And if you are somebody that goes like, oh, do you want a shot? And you say, yeah. And they go, okay, I'm doing Crown. And then you're like, oh, I like Fireball. It's like, no, fuck you. You're doing the Crown. That's what the person's buying you. Yeah. Unless it's like a friend and I go, whatever he wants.
Steve.
Yes.
Because then he's like, oh, here's a shot of vodka. You're like, that's Rumpleman's.
That's Rumpleman's, yeah.
Rumpleman's
Rumpleman's
is trick in the book.
As he's staring at the glass like Mr. Burns in the corner.
That is a great trick. I mean, is it worse to get Rumpleman's or Black House when you're not expecting it? Because both are. I mean, Rumpleman's is like so minty.
The worst is Rebel Yell if anybody gives it to you.
Oh, fucking Rebel Yell.
We also have Kat commenting. It says in the north, Bushmills is the go-to, but it's more available.
Okay, that makes sense, and that's what my research showed me. Is that I think they are more of a, if I'm not mistaken, a more Belfast based distiller. Now, I would say, just ranking these two, not giving them a 0 to 100. I have to say that, like, I go against my traditional options, my traditional choice. I think Tullamore is better because it's smoother and it's the same alcohol, but that can also get dangerous. If that's how easy number 1 went down, I'm going to sip the rest of mine here. If that's how easy number 1 went down, number 2 through 10 are going to go down super easy, and at least Jameson is still reminding you what you're drinking every single time. And once in a while, it tells you to open up that hatch and vomit everything back up into a pasture somewhere.
That's why I'm my vote, I'm sticking with Jameson. It's tried and true. I know what I'm getting into. I know
a little bit of a chill on the last bit of that Tully.
You can figure out how your night's going if you walk up to a bar and you're like, shots of Jameson, and the first one is fuck all, and you're like, okay, it's gonna be a rough night, but you get those nights where it's to
go back to the shot etiquette thing. The other day I was out and there was a girl in a small group of people, and she goes, hey, who wants to do a shot? And then she tried to do the thing where she asked everybody what they wanted to do. And then she clarified after the fact of going, oh, you're all buying your own shots. So shot etiquette rule number 2.
Buy the shots
if
for
you
people.
say, who wants to do a shot, you are opening it up to everybody within earshot.
Yes.
Or if you're like, hey, if you don't want to do that, you go, hey guys, you want to buy a shot? But that's why you just buy the fucking shot. You just go to the bartender and you go, hey,
shots.
Let me get 4 shots of fucking Jameson. Let me get 4 shots of Crown. Let me get 4 Swift Kicks. Whatever the fuck it is you were drinking. And if you're at a certain place where they have a very specific shot, like they do a breakfast shot or they do a fucking, Jaeger bombs, their big thing. Like Swift Kick at Floods, a Bling Bling at Floods if you're local to the Poconos in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Go get some blings.
Sunday morning bling.
Oh,
get
Sunday
some
morning.
blings.
There was a Sunday morning bling period of my life where every Sunday morning was just
Blinged out.
Blinged out.
blinged out.
Blinged
with
out beyond
Mr.
belief.
Nix.
Yeah, dude. But if you're asking people, if the words "does anybody want a shot" come out of your mouth in any way, you are buying that shot.
And
The
don't
rudest thing you can do is go, "Hey, who wants to do a shot?" Which is what this girl claimed. She said it that way, and that made it okay.
Sure.
Who wants to do a shot isn't going like, "Hey, who wants to buy a house one day?"
Yeah.
You're saying, "Who wants to shot right now?"
Yeah.
And you were buying those shots.
Yeah.
So she did this, and she had this whole thing, and she was like trying to figure out what people wanted. Some people wanted Crown, some people wanted other things. And I just turned around and I was like, "Can I just get 8 shots of Jameson?" And everybody turned around, and all of a sudden there were 8 shots of Jameson on the bar, and I moved them over to the table and put them down. And I was like, either I'm doing 8 shots of Jameson, or all of you assholes are doing a fucking shot with me.
Right.
And everyone picked up a shot, and they all did it. Some of them complained afterwards, but fuck them. They got drunker,
They got a
and
shot.
they got a free shot out of it.
Dude,
And
man.
I'm not taking the time to ask you. That's the other side of etiquette, is you take what's given to you. If you don't
Don't
want it, you
complain
go,
about it. You say,
"I
hey,
don't
no
want
thank
it."
you. No thank you.
That's fine.
And
The
you'll
guy
find
who
somebody-
bought it will gladly drink another 1 to 8
Me and Charlie
shots.
used to do shit skis,
Yeah.
which was Fleshman's.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I
fucking
remember that
Frenchman.
whole
Shit
phase.
skis.
I remember
Yeah.
that whole
Because
phase.
there'd be like 12 of us out, and I was like, well,
Was it just like
Let's
Fleischmann's
do a
peach
shot!
schnapps? Like, what were you doing?
no, just the Fleshman's Well whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
dude.
whiskey. Oh, yeah.
Or what's the other brand? The other bad
Canadian-
whiskey.
Yeah, you can get...
No, not even the Canadian.
I don't know. Seagram 7 is generally seems
it's
to be the
pretty
bottom
good.
shelf around here. a
Yeah,
lot
at
of
Jocks
places.
it was Fleshman's though. So
Yeah.
me and Charlie would get a whole
Shit
tray
skis,
of
dude.
fucking flesh.
And walk around and
And be
pass
like,
them out.
shots. We're like, oh, what is this? Like, it's the shittest whiskey you can
A
get.
bunch of us invented the at karaoke one night when they used to do tacos and bombs and
Yeah.
karaoke. We invented taco bombs, which we just looked at Fenton and I was like, I don't know, just make taco bombs. These kids think it's real, and he just poured Cholula hot sauce, Red Bull, and fucking tequila
Yep.
into a fucking shot, and we all did it. And you know what? All those kids, if we bought them a shot, they did it and they enjoyed it. They actually really enjoyed it. They thought it was a
Well,
real
because
thing.
most people are not gonna fucking complain if you're like, hey, you want a shot? They're
Yeah,
not.
what do
They
you got
might
here
say,
to
hey,
do?
what am I
Drink?
drinking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like,
Hey, what is this? Just so I know before I put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Because if it is somebody pulling a fast one on you and you're getting Black House or Rumpelmans, and because also just dark liquor, you think you're getting just a shot of Jaeger and it winds up being a Third Reich, and you have Rumpelmans, Goldschlager, and Jägermeister all in there. That is a blast in the fucking face.
Which can I just say as far as a shot,
Best
the Third
named
Reich,
shot ever.
Well, the Third Reich, not to out anybody
That's really
by
offensive.
name,
That's really
but
offensive.
we were out at Flood's,
Yeah.
and a friend of ours decided he was going to be nice and buy it. This girl whose birthday was going on at Flood's, he was interested, a Third Reich.
Oh no!
Her shot, and he ended up getting a Third Reich because we were just on a kick. You know what I mean?
There was a time. Third Reichs happened a lot.
And
Called the 40s.
he goes to hand it to the girl, and she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Third Reich," and she's like, "I'm Jewish."
Oh,
And he's just
Yeah,
like, "Give me the
yeah.
fucking shot
Give me
back."
the
Like
shot
he literally
back. I'm
took
sorry.
it back.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Do we
or
have any
anything like that.
Manischewitz? Do we have any Manischewitz?
Oh God.
Oh, have you ever drank Manischewitz? Just while we're on
Yeah.
the subject,
Sure.
fucking
Yeah,
delicious.
Manischewitz.
Fucking love it. That's almost better than just drinking the fucking LaRue Blackberry Brandy, which I don't care what you say, it's fucking delicious for the first 20 of them, and then the next morning it sucks. It's
Good
the
for a
worst.
cold, dude. Blackberry
Yeah.
brandy is the best for a cold. Get
Yeah.
you all warm and fucking toasty.
Well, it is.
No, I prefer a whole bottle of Robitussin and a whole bottle of Jägermeister. That'll get you through a fucking cold.
Oh, it
Fair
will.
enough.
You'll be
Yeah,
bobo
yeah.
tripping for days, bro.
Yeah, and puking.
Oh my
Only
god.
if you can remain awake.
If you can, you'll still be puking, even if you can't remain awake.
That's
You
true.
just,
I'm saying you'll be the
just
whole trip.
pre-plan to not Bon Scott yourself and face downwards. You know, you don't want to be.
It's been a long time since I've done that. I remember when
puked in your sleep.
No, since I went on that for a cold.
Oh, okay.
To the dark side for
Robitussin?
the cold.
The Robitussin Jägermeister.
Yeah, it's an evil combination there. That is
not good.
That is not good
Not good
at all.
for ya.
Nope.
That is not. So again, guys, everybody knows tomorrow is St. Patty's Day. When this releases on the Moot Monday drop and everything like that, it'll have already been gone. But celebrate Patty's, celebrate wisely.
Be safe.
Take Ubers. Don't drive if you're going to be out and about drinking all day and
Are
everything
they
like
doing
that.
the parade and shit tomorrow?
The parade is not happening until September for most areas around here, so we're hopefully pushing it back to September.
People are going to be out there.
Pennsylvania is opening up their laws after Easter,
4th, I think.
April 4th.
Right,
April 4th.
yeah,
So they are definitely waiting till St. Patty's is done. That is the move they're making. So go out, support your local bars, support wherever you are. Just go out, have a drink, be safe about it. But get out and be ready for the world to start returning back to some form of familiarity. At least here in America, and maybe we're stupid for that. Maybe we're too far ahead.
We might, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
But we're in a Bubba Chedda state of mind.
We're in a Bubba Chedda state of mind right now, guys, and it's about to get nice out. We're about to have, just good weather starting to happen, and I hope that everything opens up over in Ireland, Northern Ireland. I hope everything in the UK starts to open up, because it would be great to start traveling again one day. And the first place I'm going, the second we are allowed to go overseas, whether I have to have a fucking stamp on my passport that says I'm vaccinated or not, first place I'm going is Ireland. This is the first place 100% that I am trying to get to. Whether it's me alone, I will do a 5-day trip to Ireland alone and just sit in bars in Dublin all week long and maybe take a day trip out to the country.
That's what my mom did.
I can't wait. I can't wait to travel and see all that shit, and really to taste all of these things that we've been drinking tonight in the country that they're supposed to be consumed in. Because I can only assume that maybe Budweiser has a different taste over there. Maybe if you get Yingling in another country, which I don't think they do right now, maybe it is different.
It's like if you go out, like anybody that's living out west, I hate to break it to you, you're not getting real cheesesteaks or pizza
Nope.
on the East Coast.
The last bit of that Jameson, really, I'm still 100% of the Tullamore Dew kick. I might do Tullamore Dew tomorrow. I'm going to be starting my day off nice, bright, and early, working my way down Main Street, Stroudsburg, drinking through the bars, supporting as many people as I can support while destroying my liver. If you are local to our area and you're hearing this now, again, go out. Everybody's going to be having food specials. Cinder, we got food going on. Crazy food specials. We're doing some Reuben egg rolls. We're doing Reuben egg rolls for a nice little fusion food style. We're doing Irish style nachos, which is just potato chips
And
with a
we
bunch
lost
of
our Irish
unhealthy.
viewers.
Yeah. American Irish. Don't forget that everything we say has the asterisk of America next to it.
Kat is saying Guinness Factory is a must.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Now, when I looked into my heritage, my family on my mom's side and my dad's side, one of them, I think my mom's side was literally on the block that the Guinness Factory, the original Guinness Factory is. That was the last address I was able to find, was like on that street. Damn. And then my father's side, they are located like about like less than a half a mile away from the Jameson distillery, so I can just assume that I'm inbred because they were that close together 150 years ago.
Yeah, look at.
And I got weird things like, flat feet and bird bones and stuff, so I'm definitely Irish.
Flat feet.
Bird bones.
Bird bones.
Yeah, real
dude?
brittle, hollow bones. Yeah, I got super hollow bones.
This motherfucking can fly, dude.
I can in my dreams. I can in my dreams. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. As always, big shout out to everybody over at Moot.tv for getting us put out to you on our Moot Monday drops alongside Let Me Ask You a Question. They've been crushing it, getting really awesome guests and inspiring me to try to start reaching out to other podcasts and other musicians and everything, because they've just been crushing it on that platform there. So go check out EJ5000, Sir Anthony DeAngelis, Anthony of the Angels, and the Gregaman whenever he is available. Over on Let Me Ask You a Question, you can check out back episodes of White Wasabi and the Derek D. Dozen. Also our friendly podcast, But What Do We Know, where they do different true crime stuff, and they chit-chat and have a great time, and we do the theme music and some of the segment music.
That's not...
But What Do We Know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm stupid.
That's all right. And then
I'm thinking of
I'm
stupid.
I did it backwards because usually I go them last. And then also go check out Not Movies, or the other podcast that Sean does called Sean and Dave Make Music. not movies. And go check them out. They put episodes out here and there. You can see Zach and I on past episodes of that as well.
They are really good listens.
We've got a lot of stuff in store coming up. We're going to be finishing up season 5. The rest of our Bubba Chedda album.
2
episodes left in season 5, and then we're going to be taking maybe a little bit more of an extended break, and then coming back probably in June. I'm thinking for season 6. We've got some things in store.
We're gonna kill
for
Kyle.
you.
Finally,
Kyle's gonna die.
We
He's
just brought him back,
Zach and
dude.
Justin
We just
show.
fucking
Fuck
brought him
you.
back.
You
What
just
the
brought me back
fuck?
from the dead. It is time to kill me again. Well, big shout out and a thank you, as always, to Mr. Justin Olimpedo.
Yeah, man, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here, putting all this together.
Oh, yeah,
and a big shout out to Mr. Zachary.
Sorry, everybody.
Stormin. It was good for you. It was as good for you as it was for me, and you're not going to complain about that. For Kyle Moko Won't Shut Up, I am your host, Kyle Moko. We will be back next week with featured music from Voodoo Shakedown. And just more songs about cheese, I guess. More songs about cheese. As always.
We got a ultimate finale from Rick. Kyle dies.
Kyle dies. It's the ultimate finale. That is the ultimate finale. Well, as always, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck the fans.
Fuck the fans.
And Jeff
Dunham.
Foxworthy. Oh, you already did Jeff
Just
Foxworthy.
keep
Jeff
talking.
Buckley.
I'm having trouble
Jeff.
finding this
Jeff
fucking
Dunham
title.
was a good one. You know
Right,
you don't know
there
how
you
to
go.
end the show if
Oh,
you're
God.
Jeff Buckley.
Mood.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid.